We have a new city manager in Surprise. Get to know him in this episode of Council Conversations. Hello, I'm Mayor Skip Hall. Welcome to my Council Conversation show. There's a lot that goes into running a city, from setting the big picture strategy to managing daily tasks. Surprise operates under a council manager form of government. That means the city council determines city policy, passes ordinances, and approves a balanced budget each year. Council also appoints a city manager who is responsible for carrying out those policies and directing the day-to-day operations. In December, we appointed Bob Wingenroth as city manager. His name may be familiar to you because he previously served as our city manager from June of 2014 to November 2018. He began his service to Surprise in 2013 as the chief financial officer and assistant city manager. I've invited Bob here today so you can get to know him a little better. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Mayor. It's so good to be here.
So how does it feel to be back in the city of Surprise?
You know, I got to tell you that the feeling that I have is just gratefulness.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so grateful to you and the council for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity to come back and be city manager. I'm also really grateful to the city employees. They've been so good to me. I'm not worthy. And just kind of rekindling relationships
Sure.
and getting to know everybody, fantastic. But it's also the community that it just feels wonderful.
Yeah.
The lady across the street, my first day here, baked me a cake, brought it to the front door.
Oh.
And then a couple days later, I'm crossing Bell Road, walking over to Pyology.
Yeah.
And it's dark, I couldn't see, but I could see in the middle lane, there's this little boy who was saying, "Welcome back, Bob."
Oh.
I'm like, I looked up, thank you, God. It's just too good. So
Oh, yeah.
it couldn't be better, Mayor.
That's
really
neat.
couldn't.
That is great, Bob. We are so glad to have you back, seriously. So have you noticed any significant changes since you've been gone?
You know, I'll tell you, just coming into the city, I noticed just growth.
Yeah.
Traffic, there was a lot more people out on the road. And the north part of Surprise, the amount of growth.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. It's
Yeah.
super amazing. Now, on the other hand, this organization that I have the honor to work with, the council and the men and women who work for Surprise,
Right.
they're still the same warm, caring, passionate, empowered people who really do all they can to take care of the residents of Surprise. And so that is something that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's just actually stronger and
Good.
deeper.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're seeing that, Bob, because that's coming back and looking at it. Sometimes we that are in the midst of it, we don't notice the little changes, you know. But coming back to it, that's an interesting. You point that out. So I'm glad to hear that, because our residents really deserve the best, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They do, because not only do they pay for us. They pay my salary.
Right.
They pay the salary of all. And what they expect out of us is for us to do a great job and to serve.
That's
and
right.
to serve their needs and to
Right.
take care of their families and their homes.
Speaking of that, Bob, service. Tell us a little about your leadership philosophy, will you?
Okay, thank you. I am wholly committed to servant leadership. And a little bit of background is that to really be a servant leader, it means that, let's say when you were a child, what you were about is to serve first.
Right.
Again, as a young person, if you saw somebody needed help carrying their groceries, that you helped them.
Right.
If something falls on the ground, you pick it up and hand it to them.
Right.
And that it's only first a servant.
Right.
And then if you are asked to lead, then you lead, and you lead with that servant heart and servant mentality. So our org chart, I'm on the bottom of the org chart. It's a small, subtle symbolism that my job is to serve the women and men that work for Surprise, give them the environment, the resources. If they need direction, but if empowerment it helps them do their job, empower them to serve the residents.
Right. That's very good.
Thank you. Because we are more than I think most organizations. We're wholly about service.
Yes.
We have to stay within the budget, but we don't worry about profit.
Right.
We worry 100% about service.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's very good. What are a couple of priorities you're thinking about, Bob, as far as the future?
One of them is to really take care of this group of people that serve. You've probably heard it is, people are out poaching talent, moving them to, and so we're having to put up our shields and try to hold on to the good people that we have.
Right.
And I'll tell you that I'm also playing the game, and I'm looking for talent and doing that. But the core team, I want to make sure that they have a work environment and that they want to stay here through their entire career and take advantage of all the skills and wisdom that they've gained, and let that be what we have to serve the people in Surprise.
Okay.
So that's one goal. The second one would be is that I think even in the time you mentioned I started here in 2013, I really felt we were playing catch up. And that we haven't been able to keep pace with the growth on things like infrastructure, number one, roads, and then just some of our basic services to people. And then just we work an assembly line that when developers come in, that we need to turn around their plans, make sure everything is safe and legal.
Right.
And we're playing catch up there too.
Yeah.
I want to try to get us to a point where we're either caught up or in best circumstances, that we're really looking forward and looking out ahead, so that we can meet the growth or the demands that the residents have upon us. And so that's I think maybe the biggest thing, to see if we can move to that mode.
Okay. John Wooden, the coach of UCLA, remember he used to say, he says, be quick but don't hurry.
Yes.
And I think what you're saying, Bob, is we need to be quicker, not to hurry,
right,
but to be quicker,
right,
smarter.
Exactly. So it's not. It is. So that's such a good way to put it, because we don't want to cut corners.
Right. Exactly.
But we do want to use technology. We want to look at our processes and see if some of the steps that we have, if they're necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And really a big key is we have access to all of the best practices that there are across the country, and drawing on those to help us.
Right.
And then in the end, maybe we need more people to do the job. Certainly on some of our public safety services, when we expand the city, we need more people to be in the neighborhoods or to be close to where people live so we can respond to them. But some of our back office, we can use a lot of technology and best practices to help us do those jobs. Yeah.
That's very good. It's a question I wanted to ask you, but we got to be clear about it, because there's a lot of keys. But what in general do you think is the key to success of our city in the future as it grows? Okay. Because we're probably going to be 200,000 people in 10 years.
I agree.
And so that's a whole nother size dimension there, and it's going to be out north. And we're going to have to keep our service levels, as you just said, at a point where it's still that small town feel.
Absolutely.
And so that's.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback. I think as we grow, that's what we need to do. A city of 200,000. I think our personality of Surprise, the reason that people came here when we were 30,000 or 50,000, believed it was a great place to raise their family.
Yes.
That if they needed to get a hold of somebody in the city because there's a problem on their street,
Right.
that they could call, someone would answer and be right out there. And that when there's something that we need to talk about as a community, we listen. We open up a school and we have people come and we talk about it together and work out the issues, but not change our personality.
Right.
Be perhaps a larger city that really is more like a small town feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Very good. Well, I think that's a great goal, Bob.
Thanks.
And I'm with you.
All right.
And the
thank
city
you.
council is with you. We want to do everything we can to support you and your team for success, because when you win, we all win. And so.
And Mayor, also at the same time, we realize that you are all elected by the people of Surprise.
Right.
And when you point us in a direction, we're not going to turn like a battleship. We're going to pivot like, an NFL all-star and head that direction as fast as we can.
Right.
So,
Very good. Very good. Well, Bob, thank you for being here today. I know you're a busy guy, and this is taking this time out because residents need to get to know you a little bit and how you work. And so we know you, but we want the residents to know you more, and this is one way we can do it. There's other ways, as you know.
I appreciate it. I appreciate this opportunity, Mayor.
You bet. And thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments for me, I would love to hear from you. You can call or email me anytime, and I welcome you to sign up for my newsletter, which is filled with the latest city news and information. To sign up, just click on the Notify Me button on my website. Thank you for watching.